would like to wrap it up and invite you. I've heard you do this a number of times, Geraldine.
Have you? Right.
You've only got 30 seconds, you lot, on the panel. You know how she does all that? You've only got 30 seconds to wrap up. Well, you don't. You have a minute. But I do want to say, though, we're here because of Frederick Ozanam, the Ozanam Conversation. And one of my favourite sayings, which I think in a way encapsulates something of tonight, is that he said that, and I'm taking a little out of context, but I think most of you will get the drift. It's behind Geraldine and Francis. Yours must be a work of love. Not just the work, but our being, our Catholic being. Yours must be a work of love. You give of yourselves, you give of your time, your talents, and yourselves. And that's what Francis and Geraldine have done with us tonight. And that's what they're calling us to do in a broader, deeper, contemplative, non-shrinking, wounded way. So I would like to ask them to just wrap up. I'd actually really like to ask them the question, can you name 3 other people in the public domain who we know their names of, like Geraldine Doogue, like Francis Sullivan, who actually are stand-up and out there proud Catholics, who are actually influencing? That's what I'd like to ask, but I've told you can't ask it, so maybe I don't have to answer it. But can you sum up, a minute each, what do you want to leave us with? And where is your hope?
Go on, you can go first. There you go.
Well, I'm going to do it a different way because I feel it's important for me to do this. I went and walked the Camino after my job, and I did the full 900 Ks. Yeah, I reckon. I'm such a tart. And I carried with me one of the final reports of the Royal Commission in my backpack. And it was the one that had all the statistics of the Catholic Church in there. So I kept it in my backpack for the 40 days. And I want to read you my diary. Tomorrow I enter the cathedral in Santiago. I know that I will be feeling many things. Amongst them will be my journey over these nearly 6 years with the scandal of clerical abuse. In my backpack I have a copy of the official report of sexual abuse within the Catholic Church. It was not a burden to carry, more an obligation. The members and staff of the council went out of their way to assist victims to have their stories told and hopefully heard. I thought it appropriate that this report, which contains the statistics of these stories, be laid within the cathedral in a place of significance for the Catholic world, a place of prominence. The lives of those abused is now the catalyst for change in my church. The scandal can bring renewal and must deliver atonement. I hope this gesture will be seen in that light. So then I did it, and they don't let you get around the cathedral very easily, and so I didn't know where to put them. Everyone wanted to do it, they were thinking, But when you go there, everyone goes up to the statue and kisses it and holds it and stuff like that, which I didn't want to do. So downstairs in the crypt are where the bones of the said St. James lay. And they're behind these bars. And I thought, so I get it, threw it through, and it dropped face up. And I took the money shot and ran out. I'll just do the last bit. And I'll just take another minute, because this is important to me. And then I wrote a poem. So I will finish with this. I called it Dedication. And you can tell I stopped sometime at high school with my poetry. So, as a wreath, these names I lay. remembered as prophets, not prey. Muted cries now loud and far scandalise abuse of power. Lightly laid, no exhausted thump. Proud to serve and stand beside courageous souls, though some have died. Resolute for truth to tell beyond complicity and denial. Too many this private hell for decency to resile. Here they lay as votive flames. Virtue moans without redress. Incensed embers these precious names, struck for justice to impress. Thanks very much.
Well, I won't be as eloquent as that. I never get past the Matthew, I have come to bring you life and bring it in abundance. I find this just the most inviting words. And I think it's been true for me. And that, if I say I have to dig deep, I think that has been true. And yet that's certainly not the general picture that is given. It's almost like we've come to rob you of life. And it's just not true for me. And so that's what how I want to enrich us and invite others in. I think there is so much robbing people of hope. And I actually believe it is there. And somehow or other, I still think that it's that invitation to live fully in abundance. It's such a wonderful word that I think, so very much an Easter Sunday word as opposed to a Good Friday word. And somehow we've got to show that we mean it. You won't, if you want to be authentic and authoritative, it's got to come from you. So that's where the energy goes, and that's what I would offer.